Back to Rhodes Stadium, Alabama and Virginia Tech, game 2 of this top 15 matchup. Game 1 yesterday, Alabama won by a final score of 1-0. And here's the DCH starting lineup for the visiting Hokies. The starters are presented by DCH Health System. DCH Health System has been providing quality and compassionate health care in West Alabama for nearly 100 years. DCH is a champion for your health and proud supporters of the Crimson Tide. The Hokies are 24-5-1 on the year following yesterday's loss. 8-3-1 now in true road games on a one-game losing streak for head coach Pete DeMoore. Center fielder Emma Ritter will lead things off with Addie Green, the left fielder, batting second. Batting third is Cameron Fagan, the second baseman. Third baseman is Bree Peck. She'll bat fourth. Batting fifth is Corey McMillan, the right fielder. Michelle Chatfield, first base, batting sixth. Batting seventh is Maya Luco, the designated player. Batting eighth is the catcher Zoe Yeager, and Tegan Thrunk, the shortstop, will bat ninth. They'll face in the circle for Alabama the right-handed freshman from Phoenix, Arizona, Jocelyn Brisky. Brisky on the year with a 2.93 ERA and a 5-0 record. Ninth appearance and fourth start of the year. She has one complete game. She's pitched 28 2/3 innings, given up 23 hits, 13 runs, 12 have been earned. She's walked 10, struck out 35. Opponents batting .215 against Brisky on the year. And Brisky has had a couple of really good outings already this week against Samford and UAB. We'll go over those numbers here momentarily, but Emma Ritter steps in, and here comes the first pitch. And it is low into the backstop for ball one. Brisky against Samford got the start and the win. Went 4 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 3 walks, and 7 strikeouts, and then came in relief and got the win against UAB as that pitch comes in a little bit low, 2-0. Went 3 innings, no hits, no runs, no walks, and 5 strikeouts. The 2-0 pitch to Ritter. Line back up the middle, and that's going to get down for a base hit into center field. White has it and gets it back in quickly, but that's a leadoff single for the Virginia Tech center fielder, Emma Ritter. Defensive alignment for the Crimson Tide. Jenna Johnson here on her senior day in left, White in center, Clark in right, Dowling at third, Cahalan at short, Hevlin at second, Dukeshire at first, Childs catching, Brisky pitching with Essman, the DP. Addie Green will step in now. Green batting .447, 38 of 85 with 26 runs scored. First pitch is a called strike. 11 doubles, a triple, 6 homers, and 26 runs driven in for Green on the year. Yesterday was 1 for 2. The 0-1, low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Umpires for today's ball game. Aaron Golden is behind home plate with Dustin Holton, the first base umpire, James Goolsey, the third base umpire. The 1-1, low again, 2 balls and 1 strike. The first inning is presented by Barclay GMC of Tuscaloosa. For over 42 years, Barclay makes it easy. Online at barclaygmc.com. The 2-1, high, 3 balls and 1 strike now on Green. The 3-1 is a flare that's going to be foul down the left field line. The count's full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. 1 on, nobody out, just underway, Alabama and Virginia Tech. A really nice crowd here at the Rhodes House as it continues to grow. Payoff pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. On the steal attempt, sliding in safely just ahead of the tag is Ritter, so the stolen base for Ritter, but Green does go down on strikes, and there's 1 gone.
Second baseman, number 97, Cameron Fagan.
Got her to chase the rise, and there's 1 away now for the second baseman, Cameron Fagan. Runner on second. Here comes the first pitch. Hits the outside corner. 4 strike 1. Fagan batting .365, 35 of 96, 28 runs scored, 8 doubles with 7 homers and 32 RBIs. Was 1 for 3 yesterday. As that one's low and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. Alabama leads the all-time series 7-0 over the Hokies after yesterday's 1-0 Bama win. The 1-1 pitch, high, 2-1. Here in Tuscaloosa, the Tide is 5-0 all-time against Virginia Tech. Bama is 75-13 all-time against the current makeup of the ACC, including wins over Georgia Tech, Florida State, Virginia, and Tech this season. That one's a little outside, 3-1. The 3-1, foul back. That moves to 3-2. Brisky trying to find the strike zone without giving these very potent Virginia Tech batters something really good to hit. Here, top 5 to top 10 in the nation in almost every category. Payoff pitch. Got her to chase, but she fouled it away. We'll do it again. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Today's weather and field condition report brought to you by the Cook Museum of Natural Science. Discover something amazing at the Cook Museum of Natural Science in downtown Decatur, Alabama. For more information, visit cookmuseum.org. First, the payoff pitch is again fouled away. 65 degrees at first pitch under sunny skies. Wind blowing in at 15 to 20 miles an hour. So the wind may be the biggest story of the day weather-wise. Another 3-2. Off speed, and that's a fly ball to center field, and that's going to fall for a base hit. Runner Ritter held up at second in case that was going to be caught. So she'll stay at third, but now runners are on the corners with 1 out, as that ball was not hit very hard at all, but just in a perfect spot where neither White nor Clark could get to it. And now runners on the corners with 1 away, and Lance McMahon will make an early trip out to the circle. Talk things over with Jocelyn Brisky. Again, the wind whipping around those 20-mile-per-hour gusts. In left to right, or straight in is what I've seen. A little bit of a swirl to it. So now runners on the corners, 1 out with Bree Peck about to step up. Peck batting .370 on the year, 34 of 92 with 23 runs scored, 5 doubles, 8 homers, and 30 runs driven in. Was 1 for 3 yesterday. Alabama used some great defense and situational pitching to keep that score 0 for the Hokies, and that one's fouled off on a check swing for strike 1. As Coach Murphy talked about in our pregame interview, that's the first time this season that the Hokies have been shut out in a ball game. Caleb Beaver did a great job. The 0-1 fouled away. Count moves to 0-2. The 0-2 is low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tried to get back to chase one low and away. She didn't. One-two pitch. Grounded foul. Almost took out the third base coach for Virginia Tech, Mike Lewis. And he got out of the way. Count remains 1-2. Brisky already up 22 pitches here in the top of the first inning. 1-2 pitch. Again fouled off on the rise ball. Well, Virginia Tech just doing enough to keep these at-bats going. Another 1-2. Just missed a little outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Giles tried to frame it. It was a bit out. 2-2. Two-two pitch. Popped up foul. 200 down the lines, 220 to straightaway center field here at the Rhodes House. 6-foot ball all the way around in the outfield. Got a pretty packed brickyard out there in the outfield, enjoying the sun. The 2-2 pitch in the dirt, blocked by Giles. The count moves to 3-2. Payoff pitch. Hit the inside corner for a called strike 3. Peck is down on strikes, and there's 2 away. And that strikeout, like all Tide strikeouts, brought to you by Barclay GMC of Tuscaloosa for over 42 years. Barclay makes it easy online at barclaygmc.com. So 2 outs. Corey McMillan to the plate. The first pitch to her is swung on and missed for strike 1. McMillan batting .354, 28 of 79, 30 runs scored, 5 doubles, a triple, 8 homers, and 29 runs driven in. Was 1 for 3 yesterday. The 0-1 pitch is high, 1-1. One. That got the outside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Aaron Golden behind home plate. In no hurry to let us know what he thinks of pitches. The 1-2 in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Brisky's not got many of these Tech batters here in the first inning. Entice to swing at those. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And the Hokies get a couple of singles here in the first inning, but Bama keeps them off the board. No runs on 2 hits. There were no errors and 2 runners left on base. We played a half inning. Virginia Tech nothing. Alabama coming back here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. We move to the home half of the first inning. No score between Virginia Tech and Alabama. And here is the DCH starting lineup for the 13th ranked Alabama Crimson Tide. The starters are presented by DCH Health System. DCH Health System has been providing quality and compassionate health care in West Alabama for nearly 100 years. DCH is a champion for your health and proud supporters of the Crimson Tide, who entered today's game at 25-5 overall, 13-3 here at the Rhodes House on a 4-game win streak. For head coach Patrick Murphy, and his lineup looks like this. Center fielder Jenna Johnson will lead things off here on her senior day. Shortstop Kinley Cahalan batting second. Abby Dukeshire bats third and plays first. Catching batting fourth, Marley Giles. Bailey Dowling, the third baseman, bats fifth. Kendall Clark, the right fielder, bats sixth. Callie Hevlin, second base, batting seventh. Lauren Essman, designated player, batting eighth. And Kristen White, the center fielder, will bat ninth. First pitch from Lindsey Grain is a little bit high for ball 1. She's a right-handed sophomore from Mokina, Illinois. Grain on the year with a .287 ERA and a 7-2 record. This is her 15th appearance and 9th start. She has 4 complete games. The 1-0. Called strike, 1-1. 53 2/3 innings pitched, 38 hits, 27 runs, 22 earned. She's walked 22, struck out 80. Opponents batting 193 against her so far on the season. 1-1 to Jenna. Is a one-hopper to third. The stop is made. The throw is in time from Peck. And there's one away. Of course, we'll give you those Jenna Johnson facts as the day goes along. Really cool. In the pregame ceremonial video, got a special message from Dale Earnhardt Jr., reason why she wears number 88. Kinley Cahalan takes the first pitch for a strike 1. Cahalan batting .289, 83 of 24 of 83, 16 runs scored with 4 doubles, 2 homers, 14 runs driven in. The 0-1. Touch outside, no balls and 2 strikes now on Cahalan. The 0-2. That's too far outside, 1-2. Defensively for the Hokies, Green in left, Ritter in center, McMillan in right, Peck at third, Thrunk at short, Fagan at second, Chatfield at first, Yeager behind the plate, Grain pitching, and Luco, the designated player. The 1-2. Cahalan, takes one on the outside corner for a called strike 3. And there's 2 gone. The first inning is presented by Barclay GMC of Tuscaloosa. For over 42 years, Barclay makes it easy online at barclaygmc.com. That one comes in low, 1 ball and no strikes on Dukeshire. Duke batting .349, 30 of 86, 11 runs scored, 5 doubles, 6 homers, 26 runs driven in. Leads the team in homers and RBIs. Struggled yesterday, as did most of the Alabama lineup. The 1-0. Inside, 2 balls and no strikes. Emma Limley had a perfect game into the 5th inning before the 2-out walk by Bailey Dowling, the stolen base by Kinley Pate, and the RBI single by Kendall Clark. Dukeshire was 0 for 3. The 2-0 drops in for a called strike, 2-1. Duke moves back in the batter's box here for this 2-1. Checks her swing. He came in too high. 3-1. Rain looks in, and the 3-1. Dukeshire hammers this one, but she was out in front and fouls it off. Now moves to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Not the pitch location she wanted, but was a little bit quick on it. And the payoff. Off speed, but fouled away. Count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs, nobody on, no score between Virginia Tech and Alabama. Here in the second of 2 between the Tide and the Hokies. Rain looks in. Another 3-2 pitch. Called strike 3 on the inside corner, and Dukeshire's down on strikes. So back-to-back strikeouts looking for Alabama in the inning. Here in the first, no runs, no hits, no errors, no runners left. We played an inning, no score between the Tide and the Hokies here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. The second inning is presented by Yellowhammer Brewing Company, Alabama's finest craft brewery. Hit your stride with a refreshing Yellowhammer beer, now available at stores near you. We head to the top of the second inning. No score between Alabama and Virginia Tech. Due up for the Hokies here in the second. It'll be Chatfield, Luco, and Yeager. 6, 7, 8. Against Jocelyn Brisky in the circle for the Crimson Tide. 5 of the 6 outs so far here in the ballgame between the two teams have come via the strikeout. You have Grain, who is currently 4th in the ACC in strikeouts this season, now with 83 on the year. Brisky also can work the K. The first pitch is a fly ball to left. Settling underneath it and making the catch in front of the warning track is Johnson for out number 1. Michelle Chatfield flies out for the first out. Hit it right into the teeth of the wind. I don't know if it would have had the distance anyway, but it's going to be very difficult to get one out to left field as Maya Luco steps in. The first pitch right in there for a called strike. Luco batting .364, 8 of 22 with 9 runs scored, 2 homers and 8 RBIs on the year, getting her 9th start of the year and 2nd straight for Pete DeMore. That one's high, 1-1. Alabama's head coach is Patrick Murphy. He's in his 26th season as the Alabama head man. An Alabama head coaching record of 1,263 wins, 360 losses, a .778 winning percentage for the national champion and Hall of Famer, as that one's fouled away. 1 ball, 2 strikes now on Luco. Caleb Rose, the assistant coach. The pitching coach, Lance McMahon. Adam Arbor, the hitting coach. The coordinator of player development is Ryan Iamurray. The 1-2 pitch, fouled off. Director of softball operations is Jaden Spencer. Because Gray's not here. Ribs. 1-2. Oh, that came in and that got her. Luco takes the hit by pitch on the arm. And Tech has a base runner here with 1 out on the hit HBP. Zoe Yeager, the catcher, will now step in. Yeager batting .359. 14 of 39, 3 runs scored with a double, 2 homers, and 7 RBIs. First pitch. High chopper to third. Dowling has it. Will throw to second for 1. And Alabama turns yet another double play. Bama had 2 of them yesterday and ends the second inning with a big one here. That double play, we want to remind you that in less time than an inning, you can be saving money by applying for a mortgage at AssuranceMortgage.com. Assurance Mortgage is a proud partner of the Crimson Tide. So the 1 out hit by pitch does nothing for Virginia Tech here in the second. No runs, no hits, no errors, no runners left. We move to the home half of the second. It's still 0-0 between Virginia Tech and Alabama here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from their field. The second inning is presented by Yellowhammer Brewing Company, Alabama's finest craft brewery. Hit your stride with a refreshing Yellowhammer beer, now available at stores near you. We move to the bottom of the second inning, 0-0, Alabama, Virginia Tech. Due up for the Tide here in the second, it'll be Marley Giles, Bailey Dowling, and Kendall Clark 4-5-6 against Lindsey Grain back out for her second inning of work for the Hokies. Bama gets yet another double play, their 16th of the season and third of the weekend, to keep the Hokies off the board in the second and give Alabama a chance here offensively. Marley Giles will lead things off. Sophomore righty batting .289. 13 of 45, 7 runs scored, 4 doubles, 4 homers, and 8 RBIs. The first pitch is a called strike, 0-1. We're seeing Aaron Golden give that outside corner more often than not here today. The 0-1 pitch, right in there for a called strike, 0-2. Finishing off the sports staff for the Crimson Tide, AC Atinka is the athletic trainer. Strength and conditioning coach is Michelle Diltz. Sports information director, Nathan Sheehan. The 0-2. Foul back. We'll do it again, 0-2. Nate, the dean of SEC softball SIDs in his 11th season. Scott Moyer, the video director. Assistant video director is Lindsay Garcia. Stu Moore, the equipment manager and sports nutritionist, is Brianna Leonard. The 0-2 to Giles. That one's high, 1-2. For the Virginia Tech Hokies from Blacksburg, Virginia in the ACC, head coach is Pete DeMoore. He's in his 6th season, building a softball powerhouse in Blacksburg. The 1-2 is a fair ball down the third base line, and that's going to get all the way to left field corner. Giles rounds first. She'll stand at second with a leadoff double. The first base hit of the ball game for the Crimson Tide comes here in the home half of the second. The leadoff double puts a runner in scoring position with Marley Giles standing there. And that brings up Bailey Dowling. Dowling, whose walk started things in the 5th inning. Alabama scored the only run they needed to get the win yesterday. First pitch to Dowling. That one's popped up on the infield, right-hand side, settling underneath it and making the catch behind the first base bag is the second baseman, Fagan, for out number 1. That will bring up Kendall Clark, who had that game-winning RBI, her first of the season as far as game-winning ribbies are. First pitch, high and away for ball 1. Clark on the year batting .326, 14 of 43 with 11 runs scored, 3 doubles, a home run, and 7 RBIs. The 1-0 pitch, high and away again, 2-0. Associate head coach and recruiting coordinator for the Hokies is Mike Lewis. Josh Johnson, the pitching coach, and Humel Mata, the assistant coach for Va-Tech. The 2-0. Clark swings and misses at the drop ball, 2-1. Alabama in the all-white uniforms today with the crimson pinstripes. Crimson Alabama across the chest on the white jersey. White pants, crimson socks. The 2-1, high, 3-1. Virginia Tech in the all-black uniforms today, the black jerseys with a gray or silver VT logo on the chest. Black pants, black socks with those gray-silver stripes. The 3-1 is in the dirt for ball 4, and Kendall Clark draws the walk. And Alabama here making the adjustment in the second inning against Grain. Then we'll bring up Callie Hevlin, moving down in the order here today to the number 7 spot. After having an 0 for 3 day with 3 Ks yesterday in the 2-hole. First pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Callie was trying to put that in the brickyard. 0-1. Hevlin batting .265, 22 of 83, 12 runs scored, 4 doubles, 4 homers, and 17 RBIs on the season. The 0-1, little inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Bottom of the second, no score, but the Tide has runners on first and second with one away, trying to strike first. The 1-1. Evelyn chased one high. 1-2. One-two pitch. High and tight, and that got a piece of her. Evelyn says that hit her. Aaron Golden said no. And Callie is adamant that that hit her elbow. And I think we are going to have a replay review. Yes, we are. This replay review is brought to you by the University Medical Center with 6 locations in West Alabama. University Medical Center provides comprehensive health care for you and your family. Call 205-348-1770 for an appointment. So this not being a conference game, the umpires will head off the field to review it themselves. If this was a conference game, we'd just have the people in the replay bunker. I think it hit her. It's the back elbow, her right elbow. It's really hard to tell whether or not it hits her or not. She reacted like it did. It didn't, it doesn't move, doesn't change direction. It barely glances her if it does hit her. I want nothing more than for the bases to be loaded and one out, but I think it's going to be hard for the umpires to overturn this one. If it had hit her left elbow that has the elbow guard on it, it would have made a sound and probably changed direction. From the it's not as zoomed in center field camera, the ball does look like it changes direction just a touch. But when it's zoomed in, it doesn't. I'm not sure if it does or not. If we had 4D cameras, possibly we'd be able to see. Since the call on the field is that it didn't hit her. Also, it's a strike if it doesn't hit her. I think that's probably what it'll end up staying as, but we'll see what the umpires say here. They're still looking at it. Aaron Golden and James Colsey both have put on the headsets and they're taking a look. As we're still under review here. Take a chance to look at Alabama softball's upcoming schedule, brought to you by Yellowhammer Brewing Company, Alabama's finest craft brewery. Hit your stride with refreshing Yellowhammer beer, now available at stores near you. Now Aaron Golden has emerged, and he will tell us and says it will be upheld that it didn't hit her. Callie Heveland definitely thought it hit her. She felt something. And now we will see Josh Johnson come out to talk with Lindsey Grain. There's one out, runners on first and second now, a 2-2 count on Callie Heveland. No midweek games for Alabama before the Tide travels to Kentucky for a Thursday, Friday, Saturday series in Lexington versus the Wildcats. SEC series, except for one, are all Thursday, Friday, Saturday next weekend because of Easter. Thursday night's first pitch is scheduled for 5:30. We'll be on the air at 5:20 here on the network from Lexington, which I do believe is still standing following their early ouster from the from the NCAA tournament. I don't know if anyone will be wearing Oakland Golden Grizzly jerseys out there, but we'll see. All right, now we're ready to go again. Marley Giles on second, Kendall Clark on first. A 2-2 count to Callie Hevlin. One away here in the bottom of the second. The 2-2 is high, and the count's full, 3-2. No score. Bama trying to change that right here. Payoff pitch. Runners go, swing and a miss, strike three. They'll throw down to third, and Giles is out stealing on a strike him out, throw him out double play to end the inning. So Alabama, just as Virginia Tech did in the top of the second, the double play ends it. And we remain scoreless for Alabama here in the second. No runs on one hit. There were no errors and one left. We played 2, still 0-0 between Virginia Tech and Alabama here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from their field. Lindsey Grain's rise ball gets a strike him out, throw him out double play to end the second inning. We head to the top of the third, still scoreless. The third inning is presented by Bojangles. Download the new Bojangles app and bring the flavor to your next softball tailgate with chicken, biscuits, and fixings, all by ordering ahead on the convenient Bojangles app. It's bow time, y'all. Thrunk, Ritter, and Green due up for the Hokies here in the third. 9-1-2 against Jocelyn Brisky in the circle for the Crimson Tide. No runs on 2 hits, no errors, 2 left for Virginia Tech. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left for Alabama. Tegan Thrunk leads things off and swings and misses at the first pitch for strike 1. As Brisky also has that rise ball working right now. Thrunk batting .353, 6 of 17, 7 runs scored with 2 doubles, a homer, and 8 RBIs. This is her 6th start of the season. Did not play yesterday for Virginia Tech. So that pitch is a little outside, 1-1. Elsewhere on the Crimson Tide Sports Network, Alabama baseball, a doubleheader with Georgia today. The 1-1, swing and a miss on the rise, 1-2. Weather in Athens yesterday forced the doubleheader today, and game 1 is currently in the bottom of the 8th inning, and they're knotted up at 5, the Tide and the Bulldogs. 1-2 is a ground ball just foul down the third base and left field line. Bounces over to the third base bag, but just to the left of it. And Thrunk just missed extra bases. The 1-2. That's a ground ball to second. Hevlin makes a stop in the throw, and there's one away. We'll head back to the top of the order. And Emma Ritter, who singled her first time up. First pitch is fouled away for strike 1. Ritter, the senior from Perryville, Maryland. One hopper to Cahalan, makes a stop in the throw, and there's 2 away. Patrick Murphy, very complimentary of Kendall Cahalan's Kinley Cahalan, play at shortstop yesterday. Had 8 assists, several of them be starred in the scorebook. Addie Green steps in. The first pitch is low for ball 1. Green struck out her first time up. Senior from Suffolk, Virginia. The 1-0. Lil outside 2-0. Also, both the Alabama men's and women's basketball team advancing in the NCAA tournament with wins yesterday. The 2-0 to Green. Grounded, and that's going to get through for a base hit into right field. So a 2-out single keeps things going for the Hokies here in the top of the third. So tomorrow, the women, airtime of 4:55 as they take on Texas in Austin. First pitch to Cameron Fagan. Ground ball, and that's going to get through up the middle for a base hit just past Brisky in the circle over the second base bag. And back-to-back singles for Virginia Tech. Puts runners on first and second with 2 outs for the cleanup hitter, Bree Peck. And then Bama men's basketball taking on Grand Canyon out in Spokane, Washington. That'll be a 5 o'clock airtime. First pitch to Bree Peck. Fouled back for strike 1. Peck struck out looking her first time up. Junior from Royersville, Pennsylvania. The 0-1 in the dirt. Stopped by Giles, 1-1. Unknown if she wears 88 for Dell Jr., as Jenna Johnson does. The 1-1 pitch. That one is popped up on the infield. Cahalan's there. She makes the catch on the lip of the grass for out number 3 to retire the side. And for the second time today, Virginia Tech strands 2 runners on. For the Hokies here in the third inning, no runs on 2 hits. There were no errors and 2 runners left on base. We move to the bottom of the third, still 0-0 between the Tide and the Hokies here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. To the bottom of the third inning, 0-0, Alabama, Virginia Tech due up for the Tide here in the third. Essman, White, and Johnson, 8-9-1. It's Lindsey Grain in the circle for Virginia Tech. The third inning is presented by Bojangles. Download the new Bojangles app and bring the flavor to your next softball tailgate with chicken, biscuits, and fixings, all by ordering ahead on the convenient Bojangles app. It's Bo time, y'all. Lauren Essman to lead things off for the Crimson Tide. Senior lefty batting .250, 7 of 28 with 4 runs scored, 4 doubles, a homer, and 9 RBIs. Did not play yesterday for the Crimson Tide. As Pete DeMore talks with Gray and Tao next door, it's time for a scoreboard update brought to you by the Out of the Box Podcast. Check out the latest episode of the Out of the Box Podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Give us a follow at @OutofTheBox_pod on the X. Also check out the all-new It Just Means More Softball podcast from Softball America, featuring Gray and myself as we break down the entire SEC. That's live on YouTube Monday evenings at 6 p.m. Central. Like, subscribe, and share all of that stuff. Lauren Essman stepping in to get things started here in the bottom of the third. We'll give you that scoreboard update here momentarily. First pitch to Essman is a called strike on 1. And elsewhere in the Crimson Tide Sports Network, Bama baseball, the first of 2 against Georgia, and they're heading to the top of the 9th inning in Athens, knotted up at 5. The 0-1, Essman fouls it off. No balls and 2 strikes. Game that Georgia led 4-1 after the first inning. Bama came back to take the 5-4 lead in the 4th. Georgia tied it up in the bottom of the 4th, and it's been nothing but 0 since. Essman swings and misses at strike 3. Chase the rise ball high and away, and there's one gone. 4th strikeout of the day for Green. And now Kristen White steps in. White batting .344, 11 of 32, 6 runs scored with an RBI on the season. First pitch. Slap foul for strike 1. That got a piece of Jaeger, so Aaron Golden's going to give her an extra second. Yesterday, White was 1 for 2, had a bunt single in the 6th inning, one of only 2 hits for Alabama in the ball game, but Alabama got the 1 run. That was all they needed to get the 1-0 victory. Top 25 in SEC scoreboard. Softball. They're in the bottom of the 5th. Duke and Louisville tied at 1. After yesterday, the Blue Devils had a 7th inning comeback to beat Louisville in game 1 of that series. That's a chopper to second. The throw will be just in time from Fagan to get White, and there's 2 gone. And that brings up Jenna Johnson. 2 out, nobody on, as the 5th-year senior Jenna Johnson celebrating her senior day here today. As Coach Murphy mentioned in our pregame interview, we'll have 2 degrees from the University of Alabama when she's done. Fouls the first pitch away for strike 1. She's already graduated with a degree in kinesiology, and she's pursuing a Master of Public Health here at the Capstone. The 0-1. Swing and a miss, 0-2. It's her favorite memory, playing with her sister for the first time in an Alabama uniform in Italy this past offseason. The 0-2 is in the dirt, 1-2. Jenna is taking advantage of her COVID year of eligibility, and something she didn't think was going to be able to happen, having an opportunity to play on the same team with her sister, Lauren Johnson, this year. The 1-2 is a ground ball back up the middle, and that's through for a base hit. Jenna Johnson with a 2-out single here on her senior day keeps the 3rd inning alive. Yesterday, Alabama did their damage with 2 outs in the 5th inning. An opportunity to do the same thing here in the 3rd. 2 outs, runner on first. No score between Alabama and Virginia Tech. First pitch. Kinley Cahalan swings and misses at strike 1. Cahalan's 0 for 1. She struck out her first time up. The 0-1, that's a liner to left. That's going to stay up in the air long enough for Green to get underneath it to make the catch for out number 3 to retire the side. And that was a well-hit ball, opposite field shot by Cahalan, but it had just too much air underneath it. And that'll do it for the Tide here in the 3rd. No runs on a hit, no errors, 1 left. We played 3, still 0-0, Alabama, Virginia Tech here in the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. The fourth inning is presented by Nukes. At Nukes, your food is always made to order in an open kitchen with the freshest ingredients. Visit them locally on University Boulevard or order online at nukes.com. Nukes is a proud supporter of Alabama softball. We head to the top of the fourth inning, still scoreless between Alabama and Virginia Tech. Due up for the Hokies here in the fourth, McMillan, Chetfield, and Luco. 5, 6, 7. Jocelyn Brisky in the circle for the Crimson Tide. Brisky, the freshman from Phoenix, through 3. Has gone 3, 4 hits, no runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts, 52 pitches, and 33 strikes thrown by Brisky so far. She's gotten out of a few jams here through the first 2 innings, keeping Virginia Tech off the board. She'll face 5, 6, 7 to start things off, starting with Corey McMillan, who struck out swinging her first time up. And here comes the first pitch. That one is hammered to deep left center field, and that one's gone. McMillan sees the first pitch and crushes it just to the center field side of the scoreboard. And Virginia Tech's on the board. It's 1-0 Hokies. Bama done a great job keeping this potent offense off the board. But eventually, and I had the feeling Tech was going to be able to break through, and they did it just there. Now Michelle Chatfield steps in. The first pitch to her. 2 hopper to short. Cahalan's there to stop in the throw, and there's one gone. So Bama not only will have to respond on the offensive side, Jocelyn Brisky herself looking to respond here after giving up the solo shot. Gets the 1-pitch ground out for Maya Luco, who was hit by a pitch her first time up. First pitch to her is high and away for ball 1. Finishing up that scoreboard update. Top 25 and SEC softball scores from elsewhere. That one is swung on and missed. I think that got a piece of her helmet, but she swung and missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. Top of the fourth in Provo, Oklahoma State with a 7-1 lead over BYU. The Cougars got an upset victory over the Cowgirls yesterday, but Oklahoma State looking to win that series. 2-1 now the count, as that one's low and away. Top of the third, first game between Georgia and Ole Miss. That's scoreless in Oxford. The 2-1, swing and a miss, 2-2. Bottom of the third in Orlando, no score between Texas and UCF. Later today, Baylor, Oklahoma, App State and Texas State, Kentucky, Florida, LSU, Missouri. The 2-1, swing and a miss, strike 3, got her with her eyes, and there's 2 away. Florida looking for a series victory, as is Missouri. As is Mississippi State, as they had a 7th inning comeback. They beat Arkansas yesterday. They play again today. First pitch to Zoe Yeagers in the dirt for ball 1. Florida State is at Pittsburgh. Charlotte at East Carolina. Clemson at Virginia. Virginia got a upset win yesterday in game 1. The 1-0 inside 2-0. That's a doubleheader between Georgia and Ole Miss. Arizona's at Cal, Utah at Stanford, UCLA at Washington, Auburn at Texas A&M. The Aggies got game 1 yesterday in the first in the Saturday, Sunday, Monday series. So that one's fouled back 2-1. Coming up later this evening from Columbia, South Carolina, as Tennessee takes on the Gamecocks. The 2-1. A little low, 3-1. Only one game going on currently on the men's side of March Madness in the second round. Arizona with a 77-68 lead over Dayton. And that one's about to go final. There's 20 seconds left there. The 3-1 popped up on the infield. Hevlin lost it for a second, but is underneath it now to make the catch for out number 3 to retire the side. So a good response by Brisky after giving up the solo homer to open up the fourth inning. After that, set the Hokies down 1-2-3. So for Virginia Tech here in the fourth, 1 run on 1 hit, no errors and no runners left. We move to the bottom of the fourth. Alabama looks to respond. It's 1-0 Virginia Tech here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. The fourth inning is presented by Nukes. At Nukes, your food is always made to order in an open kitchen with the freshest ingredients. Visit them locally on University Boulevard or order online at nukes.com. Nukes is a proud supporter of Alabama softball. We head to the bottom of the fourth inning, 1-0 Virginia Tech. Due up for the Tide here in the fourth. It'll be Dukeshire, Giles, and Dowling. 3-4-5. Lindsey Grain in the circle for Virginia Tech has gone 3 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. 42 pitches and 28 strikes thrown by Grain so far here in the ball game. But she is pitching with the lead, as Virginia Tech is for the first time all weekend. And the first time now in 4 games in Tuscaloosa in the last couple of years for the Texers. First pitch to Abby Dukeshire is fouled away for strike 1. Duke's 0 for 1. She struck out her first time up. The Tide looking to respond to Virginia Tech getting the lone run in the fourth inning. 1 was enough for Alabama yesterday. Dukeshire chases the rise, 0-2. Ground ball, 1 hopper stopped by Peck at third. The throw is in time to get Dukeshire for out number 1. Looked like that might be trouble off the bat, but Peck snagged it. There's 1 out now for Marley Giles. Giles doubled her first time up. First pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. A final from Athens, game 1 of their baseball doubleheader against Alabama. Georgia, a walk-off grand slam in the bottom of the 9th. And Georgia wins 9-5. They'll play again here this afternoon. That one's a little high and outside, 1-1. Tried to drop it in. The 1-1 pitch. Giles swings and misses, 1-2. First round update from the women's side of March Madness. The 2-1 to Giles. High, 2-2. A minute 48 left to play. UConn with an 86-61 lead over Jackson State. Through 3, Indiana with a 64-49 lead over Fairfield. 2-2, Giles swings and misses at strike 3. And there's 2 gone. At the half, Michigan leads Kansas 32-29. 2:56 left in the first half. Notre Dame with a 44-26 lead over Kent State. 7:27 left in the first half. NC State leads Chattanooga 16-11. First pitch to Bailey Dowling is fouled away for strike 1. Dowling's 0 for 1 with a pop out. Holy Cross in Iowa later, along with Arizona, Syracuse, FGCU, and Oklahoma. Texas A&M, Corpus Christi, and USC. Marquette, Ole Miss. Princeton, West Virginia. UNLV Creighton, UC Irvine Gonzaga, Cal Baptist and UCLA, and South Dakota State and Utah later on. Tennessee got a victory earlier today to advance to the second round, 92-63 over Green Bay. The 0-1 is in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 out, nobody on. 1-0 Virginia Tech as we play here in the home half of the fourth. One on a check swing. She didn't go. 2-1. Two-one pitch. That's a slow roller back to the pitcher. Grain makes the stop in the throw just in time to get Dowling for out number 3 to retire the side. That ended up working as a swinging bunt, and Dowling was almost able to beat it out. But Grain made the stop in the throw in time, and the Tide goes down in order here in the fourth inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, no runners left. We played 4. 1-0 Virginia Tech here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. The fifth inning is presented by Yellowhammer Brewing Company, Alabama's finest craft brewery. Hit your stride with a refreshing Yellowhammer beer, now available at stores near you. We move to the top of the fifth, 1-0 Virginia Tech. Solo homer by Corey McMillan. The lone bit of offense for either team as we move to the top of the fifth. 9-1-2 due up for the Hokies. Thrunk, Ritter, and Green against Jocelyn Brisky in the circle for the Crimson Tide. Through 4 innings, giving up the 5 hits, 1 run, no walks, and 4 strikeouts. Her first pitch of the 5th inning will be her 65th of the game. And they'll go to Tegan Thrunk, who grounded out her first time up. The first pitch is a little bit low for ball 1 to the sophomore from Point Pleasant, New Jersey. Wind continuing to blow in from left to right. 1-0, swing and a miss on the rise, 1-1. McMillan's homer was hit into the teeth of the wind. It had kind of died down a little bit at that point. The 1-1 is a little bit low, 2-1, but the pace generated from the pitch in addition to the swing, wind wasn't going to matter one way or the other. 2-1 in there for a strike, 2-2. Similar to yesterday when Tech out hit Alabama 5-2. It's 5-2 again hit-wise as Thrunk tomahawks that one foul. Count remains 2-2. But the difference today, the 1 run's come from Virginia Tech. Two-two pitch. It's a high chopper. Hevlin has it. We'll have to hurry. The throw just in time to get Thrunk for out number 1. Heck of a stop and a throw by Hevlin. Dukeshire with the stretch, and there's one away. Hevlin had a charge in, made that stop right in front of the second base bag, and the throw just in time to get Thrunk for the first out. Emma Ritter steps in. The first pitch to her is low for ball 1. Ritter 1 for 2 on the day, singled in the first, ground out in the third. The 1-0. Little inside, 2-0. Taking a look at Alabama softball on this date. The date is March 23rd, and Alabama is 13-2 all time on this date. The 2-0. Ritter pops it up, foul ground, third base side. Dowling will give it a look and reaches over, almost makes the catch, but it just gets out of play on the camera platform down the third base line, but Dowling almost reached over and made a spectacular catch. The 2-1. Called strike, 2-2. Bama's outscored opponents 99-37 on this date, with doubleheader sweeps over Tennessee in 2002 and Auburn in 2005 on this date. The 2-2 pitch is grounded to short. The backhand by Cahalan. The throw is not going to be in time, though. That's going to be an infield single for the speedy Emma Ritter. She hit it into deep short. Cahalan made a nice stop, but it just wasn't hit hard enough for Cahalan to be able to throw out Ritter. That'll bring up Addie Green. Runner on first, 1 out. Green's 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout. The first pitch is high for ball 1. More recently, Bama posted run rule wins over Ole Miss in 2018 and Texas A&M in 2019 on this date. The 1-0. Low and away again, 2-0. The Tide last played on this date in 2022, beating UAB 8-1 in Birmingham. Bama is on a 5-game winning streak on this date. 2-0. High and away, 3-0. Definitely keeping track of Ritter on first base, who's 18 of 20 on the season stolen bases. 3-0. Called strike, 3-1. Brisky looks in, the 3-1 pitch. Fouled back on the hit and run. That moves to 3 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out runner on first, 1-0 Virginia Tech as we play in the top of the 5th inning. Payoff pitch to Green. It's low for ball 4. So a single and a walk have now put runners on first and second with 1 out for Cameron Fagan, who is 2 for 2 on the day with a couple of singles. Risky will call timeout to tie her shoe, and Patrick Murphy will call timeout and talk to the home plate umpire. And this might be the end of the day for Jocelyn Brisky, who's pitched a well of a ball game. It is. We'll take a timeout, tell you about the new Alabama pitcher after this. It's 1-0 Virginia Tech. 1 out with runners on first and second in the top of the 5th inning here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. With this call to the bullpen, we remind all Crimson Tide fans to stay up to date with all recommended vaccinations. Flu season is here and COVID-19 continues to affect our community, so don't wait, vaccinate. Patrick Murphy heads to the bullpen. Jocelyn Brisky will give way to the new pitcher for Alabama, the right-handed graduate from Jackson, Tennessee, the transfer from Central Arkansas, Kayla Beaver. Beaver on the year with a .83 ERA and a 10-2 record. This is her 17th appearance of the season. She's pitched 84 innings, 47 hits, 16 runs, 10 earned. She's walked 25, struck out 87. Opponents batting 164 against the Beav on the year. Got the complete game shutout victory yesterday against Virginia Tech. Went 7 innings. No runs, 5 hits, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts, throwing 95 pitches. She'll step in here with runners on first and second, 1 out. Trying to keep Virginia Tech to just the 1 run that they got last inning. As Tech leads at 1-0. Cameron Fagan will step in now. First pitch. A little bit low for ball 1. Brisky went 4 1/3, gave up 6 hits, 1 run it was earned, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts, 81 pitches and 49 strikes thrown by Brisky. The 1-0. One hopper back to Beaver. She knocks it down. Will throw to second, but it's going to be a little bit late. So the bases are now loaded for Virginia Tech. It was a hard hit ball right back to Beaver. She wasn't able to field it cleanly. And by the time she had corralled the ball, she threw it to second. And Green had beaten it there. So now it gets a little dicey. It'll be a fielder's choice for Fagan. And the bases loaded, 1 out for Bree Peck. 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a pop out. First pitch. Low and inside for ball 1. That's where that glove hand injury to Beaver hurt her and hurt the Crimson Tide. Before the injury, that would have been probably a surefire double play. So that one's popped foul, 1 ball, 1 strike. Infield playing in. Definitely want to try to cut down anybody at home with the force at any plate or any base, including home plate. The 1-1. Ground ball to second. They'll throw to first to get the out. Hevlin tried to tag the runner from first to second, but Fagan avoided it. And the run will come in to score on the RBI ground out, and it's 2-0 Virginia Tech. So Ritter scores. Green to third, Fagan to second, and Corey McMillan to the plate. First pitch. High and tight for ball 1. McMillan is 1 for 2. Solo homer in the 4th and a strikeout in the 1st. The 1-0. That's a ground ball to short. Cahalan's there to make the stop and the throw for out number 3 to retire the side. So Virginia Tech plates a run here in the 5th, but Kayla Beaver limits the damage for the Hokies here in the 5th inning. They get 1 run on 1 hit. There were no errors and 2 runners left on base. We stretch in Tuscaloosa. We move to the bottom of the 5th. 2-0 Virginia Tech here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. We head to the home half of the fifth inning. 2-0 Virginia Tech due up for the Tide here in the fifth. Clark, Hevlin, and Essman 6, 7, 8. Lindsey Grain in the circle for Virginia Tech. Through 4 innings has given up 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. Our first pitch here of the fifth inning will be her 55th of the ball game. The fifth inning is presented by Yellowhammer Brewing Company, Alabama's finest craft brewery. Hit your stride with refreshing Yellowhammer beer, now available at stores near you. Kendall Clark will lead things off. She walked her first time up. Alabama looking to respond after Tech has plated runs in both the fourth and the fifth inning to take this 2-0 lead. First pitch outside for ball 1. One change out in the field for Virginia Tech. First, this 1-0 to Clark. Outside again, 2-0. Annika Rose is your new shortstop, replacing Thrunk. The 2-0. High again, 3-0. The 3-0 pitch. High and away, ball 4. So Kendall Clark walks on 4 straight pitches. Start things off here in the home half of the fifth. Bama quickly will bring the tying run to the plate. And Patrick Murphy is going to go to the scorecard here. And pinch hit Larissa Pruitt for Callie Hevlin. Pruitt comes in as Hevlin now in 4 at-bats against Virginia Tech pitching. Was 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. Pruitt enters the game with a .220 batting average, 9 of 41 with 4 runs scored, a double, a triple, and 8 RBIs. Getting her first at-bat of the series, and the first pitch will be a called strike, 0-1. Pruitt came in as a defensive replacement in the last inning yesterday. Fouled away, 0-2. The 0-2. Pruitt fouls that one away. Just got past the catcher. We'll do it again. No balls and 2 strikes. Now the Box Podcast scoreboard updates going around the horn in the top 25 in the SEC. Duke and Louisville tied up at 1 in the top of the 7th. Oklahoma State with a 7-1 lead over BYU, top 5. The 0-2. Pruitt fouled that one away, and that's going to be catcher interference. That hit Yeager's mitt, knocked it off her hand, and Pruitt gets to first. Bama will take it however they can get it. Oh, yeah, that was like no question about it. So now runners on first and second, nobody out for Lauren Essman. The first pitch fouled away for strike 1. And you have good speed on the base paths too with Clark and Pruitt here. If Essman can put one in the gap, get this one tied up. The 0-1. Essman swings and misses, 0-2. The 0-2 pitch. Essman with a ground ball to second. They'll throw to second for one. Essman, oh, I thought she beat it out, but gets called out on the double play. And Essman's going to stay on the first base bag. And we are going to have another replay review. It's pretty dang close, as all of these seem to be. If you'd have had one of the green light girls for Alabama, I think they'd have beaten it out with ease. And Essman busting down the line. About made it. He's looking at the replay on the monitor in our booth. It's about as bang-bang as it can get. Remember, the call on the field is out. This is a better angle that we're looking at right now. Unfortunately, I think it's going to be hard for them to overturn it again. Difference it would be from 2 outs, runner on third, to runners on the corners with 1 out. And then the question is, do you leave Kristen White in to bat, or do you make a change with the hitter? As now our umpires come out, and the call is going to be upheld for a double play. So there's 2 outs and a runner on third for Kristen White. And first we're going to have a meeting in the circle for Virginia Tech. Continuing our scoreboard update there. They're in the bottom of the 4th. No score between Georgia and Ole Miss. Game 1 of that series. Texas and UCF. Texas with a 1-0 lead over the Golden Knights in the 5th. Just underway, no score between Baylor and Oklahoma. Kentucky has scored a run in the top of the 1st. They lead Florida 1-0. Same thing with LSU leading Missouri 1-0 in the 1st inning. No score between App State and Texas State in the 1st. Arkansas has scored a run. It's 1-0 over Mississippi State in the bottom of the 1st inning in Fayetteville. Meeting broken up. And Kristen White will step in. She's 0 for 1 with a ground out. Sophomore from Phoenix City. The infield is in, and the first pitch hits the outside corner for strike 1. The 0-1. Called strike again on the outside corner, 0-2. And Patrick Murphy and Jenna Johnson from the on-deck circle as well, saying that pitch was well outside. And Aaron Golden will pull out the book and write down Patrick Murphy's name for the morning. Set back behind the plate with an 0-2 count on Kristen White. The pitch, slap foul. And we'll do it again, 0-2. Say final, Arizona beats Dayton. March Madness, 78-68. Bulk of the game's about to get underway. The 0-2, again slap foul by White. We'll do it again, no balls and 2 strikes. Kendall Clark stands on third base. Virginia Tech leads at 2-0. Another 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. White couldn't get a piece of that one. And that'll do it for Alabama here in the 5th inning. It's been Alabama's defense with the double plays that have helped keep Virginia Tech off the board throughout most of these 2 games. But here in the 5th inning, a double play turn by the Hokies keeps Alabama off the board. The Tide, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. We've played 5. It's 2-0 Virginia Tech here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from their field. The 6th inning is presented by the Alabama Crimson Tide Game Day Live app. Keep up with everything Alabama. The Alabama Crimson Tide Game Day Live mobile app presented by Cadence Bank. Download it now for free at the App Store and Google Play. We move to the top of the 6th inning. It is 2-0 Virginia Tech. Due up for the Hokies here in the 6th. Chatfield, Luco, and Yeager. 6, 7, 8 against Kayla Beaver. Back out for her first full inning of relief, but closed on Brisky. She went 4 1/3, 2 runs, both earned, 6 hits, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. And one thing to clean up as well from last inning, I said no errors. There was actually 1 error for Virginia Tech in the 5th. That catcher's interference goes down as an E2.
First baseman number 4, Michelle Chatfield.
So Michelle Chatfield to lead things off. Chatfield's over 2 with a fly out and a ground out. First pitch, fouled back for strike 1. 2 runs on 6 hits, an error, and 6 left for Virginia Tech. For Alabama, no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 3 runners left on base. Callie Hedlund did re-enter the ball game. She's back out at second base. The 0-1. Fouled off. No balls and 2 strikes on Chatfield. Freshman from Lovettsville, Virginia is Chatfield, who had 3 home runs in Virginia Tech's 25-0 victory over Maryland Eastern Shore on Wednesday, setting a school record for runs in a game and tied the school record for hits in a game for the team, 25 and 23. The 0-2, high, 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2 pitch. Check swing, she didn't go. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Women's basketball March Madness. Michigan with a 57-48 lead over Kansas in the 4th quarter. 3rd quarter, Notre Dame over Kent State, 56-38. Halftime, NC State 26-17 over Chattanooga. The 2-2 pitch. Chatfield takes it for a called strike 3. Beaver with her first strikeout in relief here. And there's 1 gone. Iowa leads Holy Cross 20-11 in the 1st quarter. Finals, Indiana beat Fairfield 89-56. UConn over Jackson State 86-64. And Tennessee over Green Bay 92-63. Pete DeMore goes to his lineup card, and he'll make a change. Pinch hitting for Maya Luco is going to be Emily Leggett.
At the plate for Virginia Tech, number 9, Emily Leggett.
Leggett, a freshman lefty from Plantation, Florida. First pitch swinging, and it's a two-hopper to third. Dowling charges in to stop in the throw, and there's two away.
Catcher number 15, Zoe Yeager.
And we'll bring up the catcher, Zoe Yeager. She's 0 for 2, grounded into a double play in the second, popped it up in the fourth. First pitch from Beaver. Drops in for a called strike. Yeager, a freshman from Neptune Beach, Florida. The 0-1. Ground ball back up the middle, and that's going to get through for a base hit. Just missed the foot of Beaver in the circle. So it's a two-out single by Yeager. Now batting for the Hokies, it's going to be Annika Rose getting her first at-bat of the day. She came in as a defensive replacement last inning.
For Virginia Tech, number 23, Sarah McNally.
Also a pinch runner
55,
for Virginia Tech, Sarah McNally. Annika Rose will step in the first pitch. A little inside for ball one. Rose batting .211, 8 of 38 with 6 runs scored with 2 doubles and 2 RBIs. Was 0 for 1 yesterday, reaching on an error. The 1-0. Called strike, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Outside, 2-1. Thought there was a possibility, a chance that we might see the same 2 starting pitchers that we saw yesterday, Emma Limley and Kayla Beaver. Both Patrick Murphy and Pete DeMore going with different pitchers today. The 2-1 is inside and low, 3-1. Jocelyn Brisky pitched well for Alabama in 4 1/3 innings, giving up just the 2 runs. And Lindsey Grain doing equally as well for the Hokies, as that one's in there for a strike, 3-2. Just like Limley, who ended up only giving up the 2 hits and the 1 run to Alabama yesterday in the loss. Grain has given up 2 hits but no runs so far. Beaver looks in, the payoff pitch. A little bit high for ball 4, so Annika Rose reaches on the walk. So the single and the walk with 2 outs, now putting runners on first and second. And back to the top of the order, and Emma Ritter. Ritter's had a good day, 2 for 3. A couple of singles, a stolen base, and a run scored. First pitch, grounded foul for strike 1, almost taking out multiple people down the left field line. Third base coach Mike Lewis, A.C. Atinka, the athletic trainer for Alabama, all scurrying out of the way. The 0-1, high and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. The 1-1. Ritter golfs this one to deep right center, but ranging over and making the catch. Kendall Clark reels it in for out number 3 to retire the side. Sun, wind, everything was making it difficult for the Bama right fielder, but she was able to make that catch and finish off Virginia Tech here in the 6th inning. No runs on a hit, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. We move to the home half of the 6th. 2-0 Virginia Tech here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. The 6th inning is presented by the Alabama Crimson Tide Game Day Live app. Keep up with everything Alabama with the Alabama Crimson Tide Game Day Live mobile app presented by Cadence Bank. Download it now for free at the App Store and Google Play. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning, 2-0 Virginia Tech. Due up for the Tide here in the 6th. Top of the order, Johnson, Cahalan, and Dukeshire. Lindsey Green back out for another inning of work in the circle. Will throw her 71st pitch of the ball game to start things off here in the 6th, and it's going to go to Jenna Johnson, who's 1 for 2 with a single and a ground out. One of the 2 hits of the day for Alabama. Johnson fouls the first pitch back for strike 1, celebrating Jenna Johnson's senior day. Her 200th game played for the Crimson Tide. One of 3 sisters here at the University of Alabama to play softball. Alyssa Johnson, member of the Alpha Chi sorority, and that's a ground ball to Peck at third. She bobbles it, but makes the throw in time to get Jenna for out number 1. Came in and jammed her off her hands. She was able to get it to third. Peck had a little bit of trouble corralling it, but was able to get a hand on it and made the throw for the first out. That brings up Kinley Cahalan. The first pitch to Cahalan fouled away for strike 1. Cahalan's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a fly out. Yeager did re-enter the ball game. She's back behind home plate for the Hokies. The 0-1. Cahalan with a fly ball to left, and that's going to fall foul. No balls and 2 strikes. Kinley's tried to go opposite way a couple of times. He'll step back in with an 0-2 count. The 0-2. Again popped up foul. Out of play into the Bama bullpen. Still no balls and 2 strikes. The 0-2 pitch. Cahalan lines this one to right. That's going to get past the right fielder and get all the way to the wall. Cahalan rounds first. Now rounds second. She's going to third. She'll stand up there. That's a stand-up triple for Kinley Cahalan. And Alabama now has a run 60 feet away and the tying run coming to the plate here with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. was a sinking line drive, a diving attempt made by McMillan. She came up empty, and it got all the way to the wall. So Cahalan with her first triple of the season. And Emily Pitek imploring the Bama fans to get up on their feet. And that is Kinley Cahalan's first career triple as well. Third hit of the ball game for Alabama, and it'll bring Abby Dukeshire to the plate. One out runner on third, 2-0 Virginia Tech. With Alabama trying to capitalize on the momentum here in the bottom of the sixth. Dukeshire's 0 for 2. First pitch. Called strike on the inside corner, 0-1. The 0-1, Dukeshire with a fly ball to shallow center, and that's going to be caught and not deep enough to score the run. Ritter charged in, made the catch. And there's now 2 away. We'll bring up Marley Giles, who's 1 for 2. Doubled in the second, struck out in the fourth. First pitch, high and away for ball 1. Oh no, misses inside, 2 balls and no strikes. 2 outs, runner on third, 2-0 Virginia Tech. Alabama trying to get on the board here, if not tie things up with Marley Giles. The 2-0. Giles takes a called strike, 2-1. The 2-1, Giles fouls it back. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The wind blowing in pretty much as hard as it has all day right now. The 2-2, Giles fouls it back. Up on top of the press box, we'll do it again. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The 2-2, Giles got a piece of that one. Fouled it away, 2 balls and 2 strikes, and that got Aaron Golden behind home plate, who was taking a moment to walk that one off. Casey Utinka, the Alabama athletic trainer, will come out and discuss things with him as well. James Coolsey coming in from third base. Not sure where that hit him. Oh! Well, I am sure where that hit him, and it's not good. Take all the time you need, sir. All right, we're ready to go. The 2-2, Giles takes it in the dirt, and the count's full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Near capacity crowd here at the Rhodes House to their feet. Payoff pitch to Giles. Fouls it back. We'll do it again. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Giles was right on time there, but just a little bit underneath it. And fouled it back. Another payoff pitch. Outside, ball 4. Giles draws the walk, putting runners on the corners with 2 outs for Bailey Dowling. Dowling's 0 for 2 on the day with a pop out and a ground out. But she can certainly give Alabama the lead with the swing of the bat. Cahalan's on third. Giles on first. First pitch to Dowling. Fouled back for strike 1. The 0-1. Dowling swings and misses. Foul tipped in the glove. No balls and 2 strikes. You got to shore up and protect. It was Fagan, the second baseman, coming in and talking things over with Grain. Now Pete DeMore has come out. And I think he was asking if that meeting constituted a trip to the circle, and it does. And now DeMore is talking with Grain. I'm not sure if there's a injury issue. She says she's all right. Yeah, she's shaking out that pitching hand. She felt something weird with that elbow. Now Aaron Golden and James Colsey are discussing it as well, whether or not they should charge a ball for delay a game. I don't think they're going to, though. So Dowling will step back in, down the count, no balls and 2 strikes. The 0-2. Dowling with a fly ball to center, but it's going to stay in the ballpark. The catch is going to be made by Ritter for out number 3 to retire the side. Dowling gave it a ride, but not enough. And Bama leaves a couple on base here in the 6th. For Alabama, no runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 2 left. We move to the 7th, 2-0 Virginia Tech here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. The 7th inning is presented by Tuscaloosa Ford. We'd like to thank Tuscaloosa Ford for providing transportation for the Crimson Tide Sports Network to all the season's away games. Visit Tuscaloosa Ford for your next vehicle purchase. Roll Tide with Tuscaloosa Ford. We head to the top of the 7th inning. Virginia Tech with a 2-0 lead over Alabama. Due up for the Hokies here in the 7th. It'll be Green, Fagan, and Peck. 2-3-4. Caleb Beaver back out in the circle for the Crimson Tide. 2 runs on 7 hits, 1 error, and 8 left for Virginia Tech. For Alabama, no runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 5 runners left on base. Addie Green to lead things off for Virginia Tech, who is 1 for 2 with a single, a strikeout, and a walk. First pitch, a little bit high for ball 1. The 1-0, fouled away. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 change out in the field for Alabama. Emma Broadfoot now playing first base for Abby Dukeshire. The 1-1, called strike, 1-2. Bama had the go-ahead run to the plate in the 6th. Was not able to get any runs across. The 1-2, grounded through for a base hit into right field. So that's a second single a day for Addie Green. It leads things off here in the 7th. Cameron Fagan now steps in. She's 2 for 3 with a couple singles and a fielder's choice. First pitch, called strike, 0-1. The Tide will have 6, 7, 8 due up in the bottom of the 7th. Beaver trying to keep the Hokies where they are. Give Alabama an opportunity in the home half of the 7th. The 0-1 pulls back the bunt. Drops in a little bit low. 1 ball, 1 strike. The 1-1. A little outside again. 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. That one hits the outside corner this time. 2-2. Two pitch, fouled off. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two pitch, fouled off. That'll get into the Bama bullpen. Count remains 2-2. Another 2-2. A little outside, and the count's full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Aaron Golden has not given that outside corner against lefties as much later in the game as he was giving it both sides early on. Payoff pitch. Line drive back up the middle, and that's going to fall for a base hit into center field. Kristen White has it and gets it in to keep the runner at third, but sliding in safely at second is Fagan. And now 2 runners in scoring position for Virginia Tech as they try to add to their 2-0 lead here in the 7th. Just a good piece of hitting there by Fagan as she kept battling and battling against Beaver, And then lined one into center field. Riley Giles goes out to talk things over with Kayla Beaver as Bree Peck will step in. Peck's 0 for 3 on the day with an RBI ground out in the 5th inning. And now Patrick Murphy is going to come out, talk things over with Aaron Golden, and he will make the call to the bullpen here to try to finish things off in the 7th. But Virginia Tech, with a couple runners in scoring position with nobody out in the 7th inning and a 2-run lead, we'll tell you about the new Bama pitcher after this here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Pitcher for the Crimson Tide is the right-handed sophomore from Fairhope, Alabama, the transfer from LSU, Ailey Johnson. Johnson on the year with a 1.18 ERA and a 3-0 record. This is her 14th appearance. She's thrown 29 2/3 innings, 19 hits, 10 runs, 5 have been earned. She's walked 13, struck out 30. Opponents batting 179 against Johnson on the year. And she comes in facing a pretty good jam as Virginia Tech has runners on first and second.
In this climate, you need guaranteed protection. You need Cook's Pest.
Johnson's last outing against Georgia, she struggled finding the strike zone. There's a changeup that drops in for a strike, 2-1. The 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Peck went after the changeup, came up empty, 2-2. The 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. After falling down the count 2-0, 3 straight changeups from Ailey Johnson. Gets Peck, and there's one gone. That will bring up Corey McMillan, who's 1 for 3 with a solo homer. First pitch, low and away for ball 1. The 1-0 pitch, missed outside, 2 balls and no strikes. The 2-0, waited on it, lined it to center. That's going to be caught by White, tagging up from third and coming in to score is green. And that's going to be a sacrifice fly RBI for Corey McMillan. And it's 3-0 Virginia Tech.
First baseman number 4, Michelle Chatfield.
Now 2 outs, runner on second for Michelle Chatfield, who's 0 for 3. And she's going to be intentionally walked. Chatfield, team leader in home runs. Again, was 0 for 3 on the day, but I guess that kind of means that she's due too, so Bama not going to take any chances with first base open. You do have to throw the 4 pitches. Haley Johnson's come a little bit close to the plate here on a couple of these, but the 4th pitch is where it should be, and the intentional walk is issued to Chatfield. That will bring up Emily Leggett. Who came in the DP spot for Maya Luco last inning, grounded out. First pitch to her here. Misses, I guess, a little bit high for ball 1. The 1-0. Called strike on the outside corner, 1-1. The 1-1. Fouled off. 1 ball, 2 strikes now on Leggett. The 1-2. Waited on it, fouled it away. We'll do it again. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One, 2 is high, 2-2. Virginia Tech does have the freshman lefty, Emma Mazzaroni, warming up in the bullpen with Grain. 2-2. Just misses a little low, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Having possible issues with her throwing arm or elbow. We'll see if the change is made. Payoff pitch. Waited on it and fouled it off. We'll do it again. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs, runners on first and second. Virginia Tech leads at 3-0 as we play here in the top of the 7th. Bama trying to hold the Hokies to the 3 total runs before they get their last chance in the home half of the 7th. Haley Johnson looks in. The payoff pitch in the dirt for ball 4. Not where you wanted that pitch to be. So now the bases are loaded with 2 outs.
Catcher number 15, Zoe Yeager.
For Zoe Yeager. I think Pete DeMore is going to go back to the lineup card for a pinch runner. Is going to be a new runner on second base, Lila Blackwell, the freshman. Little pinch run for Chatfield.
Entering the game to run for Virginia Tech, number 21, Lila Blackwell. Re-entering number 22, Maya Luco.
And also, Maya Luco has re-entered the ball game. She'll run on first. And Zoe Yeager to the plate. 1 for 3 with a single, a double play, and a pop out. First pitch drops in for a called strike. I think 3 runs, you still feel within striking distance if you're Alabama. The 0-1. And that one's a fly ball to left. Jenna Johnson settles underneath it. She'll make the catch for out number 3 to retire the side. So Haley Johnson comes in and limits the damage here in the 7th. The Hokies do add to their lead as they get 1 run on 2 hits. There were no errors and 3 runners left on base. We move to the bottom of the 7th inning. The last chance for Alabama. It's 3-0 Virginia Tech here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Seventh inning is presented by Tuscaloosa Ford. We'd like to thank Tuscaloosa Ford for providing transportation for the Crimson Tide Sports Network to all of this season's away games. Visit Tuscaloosa Ford for your next vehicle purchase. Roll Tide with Tuscaloosa Ford. We move to the bottom of the 7th, the last chance for the Crimson Tide. Virginia Tech with a 3-0 lead over Alabama. Due up for the Tide here in the 7th. Clark, Hevlin, and Essman, 6, 7, 8. And against a new pitcher for the Hokies. There's a new pitcher for
Excuse me,
Virginia
do you know
Tech.
the average time of 1 full inning at a Crimson Tide softball game?
10 minutes.
That hits the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes on clock. The 1-2 pitch. Clark tomahawks that one foul. We'll do it again. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2. Clark with a fly ball to deep right. That one is going to get down for a base hit up against the wall. Clark will round second. She heads for third. She'll stand up there with a leadoff triple here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Second triple of the day by the Crimson Tide offense. And now Alabama inching closer to having the tying run come to the plate here in the 7th inning. Callie Hevlin to the plate. Hevlin's 0 for 1. She struck out as part of a strike him out, throw him out double play in the 2nd. Was pinch hit for in the 5th. And after facing just 1 batter and giving up a triple, Mazzaroni will be replaced. by Emma Limley, the starting pitcher from yesterday for the Hokies. On the year, Limley with a 2.37 ERA and a 5-2 record, making her 18th appearance. She does have 2 saves. This is a save situation for her. 62 innings, 36 hits, 22 runs, 21 earned. She's walked 32, struck out 86. Opponents batting 162 against Limley on the year. Yesterday, in a complete game loss, she went 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned, 1 walk, and 7 strikeouts. When that rise ball for Limley is working like it was yesterday, she is an elite pitcher at this level. But if it's a little bit off, Alabama can take advantage, and that's what the Tide is hoping for here. A leadoff triple by Kendall Clark chased Mazzaroni. And we'll bring up Callie Hevlin now. Runner on third. There's nobody out, excuse me.
Second baseman number 22, Callie Howland.
So Hevlin will step in now. Trying to pass the baton down. First pitch. Hevlin hops it up, shallow left, and giving way at the last second is Rose. Green will make the catch for out number 1. Not deep enough to score Clark from third. Alabama just trying to get the lineup turned over here, which would mean the either tying or winning run would come to the plate. She's still in the on-deck circle now with Lauren Essman at the plate. Essman's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and grounded into a double play. First pitch. Drops in for a called strike. The 0-1. Essman with the ground ball. That's going to get through for a base hit into right field. Cahalan will come in to score, and the RBI single by Lauren Essman gets Alabama on the board and will bring the tying run to the plate here in the bottom of the 7th. (3-1) Virginia Tech. Now the Tide has more cooking in the home half of the 7th inning. You're going to see a pinch runner. Kinley Pate will come in to run for Essman on first. And Kristen White will step in. She's 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout. Limley looks in. And the first pitch. That bunt is down. It's going to be a close play at first. The throw is in time to get the runner from Peck. Pate took second. There's 2 away. And Patrick Murphy calls timeout, and he's going to go talk with Dustin Holton. Excuse me. Watching the replay, and yeah, I do think they got her. But they are going to get a replay, and this is a umpire called replay review. After you reach the 6th inning, the review system, you can still use your challenges if you're Alabama, but Alabama's out of challenges. You only get 2. And you lost both of them, so you didn't get any of them back. But the umpires can call for one in the 6th or 7th inning or later. So James Golsey says, I called this one. They're going to go take a look at it. Again, as I said, I think they got her, but we'll see it here from a different angle where the ball gets in the glove. It's actually a lot closer from that angle than I thought it was. Yeah, that foot is right on the bag just as the ball is getting there. So again, as bang bang as you can get. Here come the umpires coming back after looking. And the call is held up that White is out at first. That was a heck of a bunt by Kristen White. It had to be an absolutely perfectly executed defensive play by Virginia Tech. It was. Pate to second. There's 2 outs. And to the plate, representing the tying run on her senior day, is Jenna Johnson. 1 for 3 on the day with a single. First pitch to number 88. High and away for ball 1. The 1-0. Johnson holds up on one high and tight, 2-0. On deck for Alabama is Kinley Cahalan, who tripled her last time up. The 2-0. Low and outside, 3 balls and no strikes. Lindley has not given Johnson anything to hit here. The wind has died down. 3-0. Johnson takes the called strike, 3-1. It's still blowing, but not as hard as it was early on in the ball game. The 3-1 pitch. Jenna takes it high and away for ball 4, and Alabama will bring the winning run to the plate here in the bottom of the 7th. Kinley Pate stands on second. Jenna Johnson now on first, and Kinley Cahalan to the plate. Cahalan's 1 for 3, tripled in the 6th inning. First pitch. And that one's driven to deep center field. That one's back and off the wall. 1 run will score. Here comes Johnson. She'll score as well. Cahalan stands on third, and a 2 RBI triple by Kinley Cahalan has tied things up here in the bottom of the 7th inning. She didn't miss a walk-off home run by much. Ritter tried to track it down in the center field, right center field gap, couldn't get there. It hit up against the wall, and Kinley Cahalan, who had never had a triple in her career, has had 2 in back-to-back innings, tying things up here in the home half of the 7th. And unfortunately, some Bama fans left after the 6th inning. I guess you're listening to me. I wish you were here to see it. But a lot of people stayed as Bama's tied things up here in the home half of the 7th, and Abby Dukeshire to the plate. The winning run stands on third. First pitch. Dukeshire swings and misses at strike 1. Dukeshire's 0 for 3. That means she's due. The 0-1. Dukeshire fouls that one off. No balls and 2 strikes. The 0-2. Dukeshire fouls it back. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Emma Limley gave up just 2 hits in 6 innings yesterday against Alabama. She's given up 2 hits and 2 runs in 2/3 of an inning so far today. The 0-2 pitch is high. 1 ball, 2 strikes now on Dukeshire. Limley tried to get Dukeshire on that rise ball. Not jumping like it was yesterday. The 1-2 pitch. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Marley Giles on deck for the Crimson Tide here. The 2-2. Dukeshire holds off on that one. Another rise ball high, and the count's full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Payoff pitch. Dukeshire swings and misses at strike 3. And that'll do it for Alabama here in the 7th, but the Crimson Tide plates 3 here in the home half of the 7th inning, and we're going to extra innings. 2 triples in the inning for the Crimson Tide. They get 3 runs on 3 hits. There were no errors and 1 runner left on base. We move to the 8th, 3-3, Alabama, Virginia Tech, here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Eighth inning, extra innings for the Crimson Tide and Virginia Tech. Alabama plates 3 in the home half of the 7th to tie things up at 3. 3 runs on 9 hits. There were no errors and 1 left for Virginia Tech. For Alabama, 3 runs on 6 hits, no errors, and 6 runners left on base. And Haley Johnson now back out for her 2nd inning of work. Due up for the Hokies here, Rose, Ritter, and Green. 9-1-2. And we get to hit the restart button here as we head to extra innings. A 2 RBI triple by Kinley Cahalan tied things up. And Annika Rose to the plate. First pitch. Low for ball 1. Rose came in as a defensive replacement in the 6th inning and walked her first time up in the home half of the 6th. The 1-0 is high, 2 balls and no strikes. Called strike, 2-1. This is the first extra inning game of the season for Alabama. Tied all-time 71-37 in extras. That one comes in high, 3 balls and 1 strike. Last year, Alabama was 5-1 in extra inning affairs. The 3-1. Fly ball to shallow right. Charging in is Clark. She'll make the catch. Battling the sun for out number 1.
Center fielder number 90, Emma Ritter.
And we'll bring up Emma Ritter. First pitch. Hard hit ground ball through for a base hit. 1 out single for the leadoff hitter for Virginia Tech. She's now 3 for 5 on the day with 3 singles, and she can cause havoc on the base pass as well, so Alabama will need to be careful of that. 1 stolen base on the day.
Left fielder number 6, Addie Green.
And that'll bring up Addie Green, who's 2 for 3 with a couple of singles, a run scored, a walk, and a strikeout. First pitch. Hard hit ball to right. On the run is Clark, and she will watch it bounce over the wall for a ground rule double. It hit off the pole, the light pole, and bounced back into play, and Clark got it in. The results are the same all the way around for the runners. It was hit so hard, Ritter wasn't able to get home from first anyway. So that's a ground rule double for Green, and now Virginia Tech has runners on second and third with 1 out. And Patrick Murphy is going to go to the bullpen once again, replacing Ailey Johnson with Jayla Torrance. Torrance has a 1.42 ERA and a 7-3 record. This is her 14th appearance of the season. She's gone 44 in the 3rd innings, 27 hits, 14 runs, 9 have been earned. She's walked 10, struck out 48. Opponents batting 170 on the year against Jayla. Torrance got the start in the midweek against UAB. Went 4 innings, gave up 5 hits, 3 runs, 1 earned, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. It's a no decision for Jayla there. Has looked absolutely lights out at times this season. Other times has struggled. Probably wasn't pitching her best against UAB, but kept Alabama in it. And she comes in here with Virginia Tech threatening again here in the 8th inning with 2 runners in scoring position and 1 out. She replaces Ailey Johnson, who went an inning and a third, giving up 2 hits, no runs, 2 walks, and a strikeout. She is responsible for the 2 runners on base. And the first batter that Torrance will face is Cameron Fagan, who has had herself quite the day. 3 for 4 with a double, 2 singles, and reached on a fielder's choice. First base is open, but it doesn't get any easier as you go down the lineup here for the Texters. Torrance looks in, and here comes the first pitch to Cameron Fagan. It's in the dirt for ball 1. Brisky would be eligible to re-enter the ball game because she was the starter. The 1-0 is fisted, and that's going to get down for a base hit into center field, and that's going to bring in 2. So Fagan fought it off. The ball running in on her hands and put it into right center field. And that's a 2 RBI single for Fagan, and Virginia Tech has taken the 5-3 lead. Okay, credit Virginia Tech. First pitch is fouled away for Bree Peck for strike 1. Alabama had all the momentum, scoring 3 in the bottom of the 7th. But this offense just kept on rolling and grabbed it right back. The 0-1, Peck fouls it away. No balls and 2 strikes on her. So both those runs are charged to Ailey Johnson. The 0-2. And that's a ground ball to second. They throw to second for one. Not going to be able to turn the double play. It wasn't hit very hard. So Peck reaches on the fielder's choice. There's now 2 outs as Fagan is retired. And that brings up Corey McMillan, the right fielder. 1 for 3. With a strikeout, a home run, a ground out, and a sac fly. First pitch. High and away for ball 1. Comes in high, 2-0. Two-0 pitch, foul back, 2-1. McMillan's a junior from Greensboro, North Carolina. One of the few transfers on this team. She transferred to Virginia Tech from Radford. The 2-1. Drops in too low. 3 balls and 1 strike on her. The 3-1. Hits the outside corner, and the count's full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs, runner on first. 5-3 Virginia Tech here in the top of the 8th inning. Payoff pitch. And that one is going to fall for a base hit. Not hard hit into right field, but it's going to get down. And taking third, it was a hit and run, is Peck. And outside of the double this inning, nothing has been hit really hard by Virginia Tech, but they've found the grass. So now runners are on the corners and 2 outs for Shell Chatfield. Chatfield's 0 for 3 with a walk. First pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Bama has 4, 5, 6 due up in their home in their half of the 8th inning. The 0-1. Chatfield lines that one foul off the clubhouse, 0-2. The 0-2 pitch. Low and outside. Chatfield checked her swing. Now moves to 1-2. One-two pitch. Again, low and away, 2-2. Two. Runner goes, and that's going to get all the way to the backstop. Coming in to score on the wild pitch is Peck, and it's now 6-3 Virginia Tech. Torrance looks in, and the payoff pitch. Fouled away. We'll do it again. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Another 3-2. Fouled back again. Unfortunately, this has been the issue here with Torrance in the last few weeks. Just haven't been able to put batters away when you get them into the 2-count or 2-strike counts. Another 3-2. Chatfield with a fly ball, and that's going to get out of here. 2-run shot by Michelle Chatfield. And Virginia Tech has put a 5 spot up here in the top of the 8th inning. And it's 8-3 Hokies. Chatfield, who is the team leader in homers, now has 14 with that one. And Mayaluko sets back in, takes the first pitch, 4-strike-1. Luco is 0 for 1. Hit by a pitch in the second, struck out in the fourth. She was replaced by Emily Leggett for a couple of at-bats, and is now reading the ball game. That one misses low, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch is a ground ball to short. Cahalan has it, makes the long throw over to get Luco and retire the side. But Virginia Tech here in the 8th inning offensively erupts as they get 5 runs on 5 hits. There were no errors and no runners left on base. We move to the bottom of the 8th inning. Last chance for Alabama once again. They trail by 5 here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Virginia Tech with an 8-3 lead over Alabama. Hokies scoring 5 in the top of the 8th. After Alabama scored 3 in the home half of the 7th, tie the ball game up and send it into extras. Giles, Dowling, and Clark due up for Alabama here in the 8th. 4-5-6 against Emma Limley, the third pitcher of the ball game for Virginia Tech. Alabama put 3 up in the bottom of the 7th to tie things up. We'll need to have another huge inning here in the home half of the 8th to keep it going. Starting things off with Marley Giles. 1 for 2 with a double, a strikeout, and a walk on the ball game. Limley looks in, and here comes the first pitch. Called strike. The 0-1. Outside, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Called strike, 1-2. Virginia Tech, 9-0 in ACC play. They travel to Duke next weekend. Duke not having a great time in Louisville in that three-game ACC series. The 1-2 hits the outside corner for a called strike 3, and there's one gone. Louisville beat Duke today 2-1 after Duke had to have a 7th inning comeback to win game 1 of that series. Alabama travels to Kentucky next weekend. Bailey Dowling steps in. First pitch. Misses for ball one. Dowling 0 for 3. They're in the bottom of the fourth in Gainesville. Florida with a 4-1 lead over Kentucky, looking to win that series. That one misses inside, 2-0. So Alabama right now 2-4 in SEC play, but had to host Florida and travel to Georgia in the first 2 weeks. So there's nothing easy in the SEC, but it becomes a bit more manageable here for a few weeks. 2-0. Dowling takes it inside, 3-0. And Aaron Golden now hearing it from the Virginia Tech fans behind the first base dugout. 3-0 to Dowling. Right in there for a strike, 3-1. Oklahoma State beat BYU 10-2, so the Cowgirls win that series 2-1. Georgia beat Ole Miss 7-0 in game 1 of that series in Oxford today. 3-1. Dowling pops it up, foul ground, third base side. It will stay in play, and the catch is made by Peck. And Alabama is down to their final out. Texas beat UCF 4-2. Oklahoma up 5-2 on Baylor in the fifth. Texas State 11-0 over App State in the fifth. Arkansas leads Mississippi State 2-0 in the sixth. And Virginia leads Clemson 1-0 in the second. Kendall Clark, the last chance for Alabama. First pitch. Called strike. Clark, 1 for 1, tripled and scored in the 7th inning. Started off that 3-run 7th inning. 1 of 2 triples in that inning. A couple of walks before that, so a good day for Clark. The 0-1 fouls that one away. No balls and 2 strikes, and Bama is down to their final strike. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Clark chased the rise, and that'll do it for Alabama here in the 8th. And for the ball game, your final score in 8 innings, Virginia Tech with an 8-3 victory over Alabama. With the win, Virginia Tech improves to 25-5-1. With the loss, Alabama falls to 25-6. And these two teams very evenly matched, split this 2-game non-conference series here at the Rhodes House. For Virginia Tech, 8 runs on 14 hits, 1 error, and 11 runners left on base. For Alabama, 3 runs on 6 hits, no errors, 6 runners left on base. Bama scores 3 in the 7th to force extra innings, but Virginia Tech puts up the crooked number in the 8th, and they win it by a final score of 8-3. We'll take a timeout, come back with the Fast Signs of Tuscaloosa post-game report as Virginia Tech wins it 8-3 over Alabama here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network.